Okay, so the next thing we got to do is get this thing ready to prime, and I want to prime it before we start spinning it to do the rocker arms. And I went to the local Napa store because they were the only place that had 1040 motor oil on the shelf. Now what's up with that? There's still lots of stuff running around uses 1040. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this Napa brand in here for right now, because we're going to take this thing, if all goes well and it runs, nothing comes pouring out of it, we're going to take and run it next weekend at the first points race. And then I'm going to bring it home and change the oil in it, or at least change the filter on it while we're at the track, and see if I can't get any debris or anything that may be left in it from the build. Because, you know, I was scraping and cleaning and opened it up. Whenever you open the engine up, you always get something in it that you don't want in it. And this is one of the easier ways to flush it out. This is a 6-quart setup, not my usual 7. But with the high volume pump, there should be plenty. It didn't run dry with the other one, and no harder than we're going to turn it. It should be alright. I usually like to run 7 quarts with the high volume pump, but I didn't want to take my pan off my other engine just yet. Okay, so a few videos back, I talked about the importance of learning how to drop these distributors in, and as long as you didn't turn the motor, you wouldn't lose your timing. Well, that's going to come into play for us again when we prime this engine. I went ahead and bought this engine primer from the fine folks at PowerHouse, which I sell these through Speed Oasis, where I am a Comp Performance Group dealer, and I've been wanting to try one of these, so I went ahead and got one. And all it is a shaft that you can put your drill on the end of, and a spacer to sit in the block, and you lock it down with your distributor hold down, and it lets you prime your engine. So we're going to give it a try and see how good it works. I'm sure it'll work just fine. The old way is, I've always done it the old way, but I don't always have a distributor for the engine that I'm working on, and that is to take an old distributor and just take the gear off of it and take the top off and weld a nut on it, and the distributor itself becomes your priming tool. And I still do that on the FEs and the small block Chevys, but I finally went ahead and broke down because I had somebody that needed the housing off of my Windsor priming setup, so I went ahead and let them have a housing. And I went ahead and let them have it, and I got me one of these, so we'll see how it does. Okay, so let's see. So we're lined back up on our marks. We haven't moved the housing, so everything's still right where it needs to be. So all that you have to do is pull the retainer out, slide the distributor out one more time, set it off to the side, and then we'll put in the priming tool. I did spin the distributor when I rotated the motor over to put the torque converter bolts in, so I had to make sure to get back on the mark. And it's really quite simple. It's just a bushing, the shaft with a hole in the end to pick up the oil pump drive. It's got a hex key in it, and it slides through this bushing, and then you put your drill on this 3-jawed end here and you spin it. And you'll know if you're going the wrong way because you hear oil bubbling. This drops down in the hole. Like so. The collar goes down on top of it. Put the retainer on. Give it a little snug. And if you go the wrong way, you're going to know it. Because you're going to hear the air bubbling. There we go. I see oil. We got oil in the back rocker. So we know we got oil pressure. I'm going to oil it up just a little bit more. This is going to make me feel better. Alright, there it comes out the back. We got a little bit up here at the front. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and break this loose. Get my drill out of the way. Then we go ahead and take the retainer back out. Yep, and it was oiling quite a bit, it looks like. So now this will help us get the spacer back out. Alright, now got to put the distributor back. So there's our marks. And we're off a couple of teeth, so we pick it up. There it is. Alright. We just need to turn the oil pump drive at the bottom of the distributor. Alright. So pretty much everything I'm doing now until I start working on the actual rocker arms is stuff you saw me do in the other videos. And just putting the car back together basically. And I'm going to go ahead and put this back in its box because it just seems like a good place to keep it. And when I get my new toolbox, I'll put it in there. Like I said, this is a PowerHouse 101160. It's a PowerHouse 101160 oil priming system. Primer for all block Ford. Well, any Ford with a 5/16 shaft, really. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode of Fab Race Mod Repeat, or maybe been inspired to go out, try a new skill, and even get your hands dirty. The season's coming fast, and in the next episode, I got to set the valve lash, put the carb back on, and start rewiring this thing, charge the battery, and we'll be getting ready to start her up. By the time you watch the next two videos, I'll probably have been to the track, and the videos should get more interesting from an action standpoint because we'll actually be filming on the car. Have you got a project that you want to try? A new skill you would like to learn? Tell us about it. Let us know what you got in mind. Maybe we can give you some pointers. Maybe we can learn something from you, be inspired by what you're doing. Maybe go out and try it. We all have confidence to try new things inside of us. All we have to do is take this first step. Unlock it. Give it a shot. Thanks for watching. As always, be kind to each other. Until next time, this is Fab Race Mod Repeat. I hope everybody has a great day.